In this video tonight, we're gonna build our own specialized, personalized chatbot that is gonna help us write job applications. Why is this helpful? Because job applications are extremely time demanding. Most people want to apply for a new job and get a better salary, move to the sea for various reasons, but we are constrained by the time that it's required to write a good job application. Usually it takes me 1 day to write a competent job application with the old-fashioned way. Tonight we're going to build a chatbot that is going to streamline that process, and in 10 minutes you can convert your old job application, your old CV, your old cover letter, personalize it for a new job opening, and you would be able to do that whole process in less than 10 minutes, which means the streamlining process from 1 day, it will be shrinked to 10 minutes. And this will enable you to apply for positions during your lunch break, for example. So if you have 1 hour lunch break, like we do in the UK, you could spend the first 10 minutes using this chatbot or a similar chatbot that you would build using my instructions. And in the first 10 minutes of your lunch break, you would apply for a job opening that you have spotted, and then spend the other 50 minutes eating your lunch, and you could repeat this process every day until you secure your new job position. If you were trying to do this the old-fashioned way, the saying goes that you need to apply for 100 jobs to get 10 interviews to qualify for one job. Well, to apply for 100 jobs, if it takes you a whole day to write the job application, like it would if you do it manually, you need to write the cover letter, you need to write the CV, you need to answer specific questions. Who has 100 days full-time to be applying for jobs? You need to resign from your job to be able to find another job, and nobody's going to do that. That is why we never really get that new promotion. Another option is that you would work full-time, and then all your free time you would be writing job applications, which means you have no time to go to the gym, you have no time for social life, you're just working on job applications or on your actual job. We're going to use the power of AI, we're going to learn how to do it, and you're going to be able to repeat that process in 10 minutes. But not only that you're going to repeat the process, your applications are going to be more successful, because the AI tool, the chatbot, is going to ensure that your new applications satisfy all the essential and all the desirable criteria, which means that the recruiters would have to call you for an interview. If you satisfy all the criteria, they would have no excuse not to invite you for the interview stage. The next step, it's up to you. With this tool, we're just gonna go past through that stage, that we're gonna reduce the time that is required for you to apply for those 100 positions in order to get to 10 interviews and to get to one secure job in San Francisco Bay Area, for example, or a higher, better paid position. There are two ways how you could use this video. I would suggest that first you watch the entire video, you watch the steps that are required, just so you can convince yourself that it's extremely easy and anybody can do it. There's specific prompts that you need to put in, and that is where you should focus. And the second step would be that you would, once you have watched the entire video and you are familiar with the process, you would open the computer and rewatch the video again, but in the second attempt, you're going to be building your own chatbot. And every time you come to a task, you would stop the video, complete that task, and then continue with the video until you have deployed your chatbot. If this video is 10 minutes, I assume it's going to take you like half an hour until you build your chatbot. And this is going to streamline one of the most time-demanding tasks that we have. Tomorrow, I'm going to look for a different task that is eating too much of my free time, and I'm going to try to automate that. We're going to have in this series, we're going to be automating the boring tasks in your life. And if you watch the first video, the introduction into ChatGPT store, what I was saying is that there are 3 key elements that you need to have before you build your ChatGPT. First, you need to have the ChatGPT 4, because only that version allows you to build ChatGPTs. If you don't have that version, you can obviously use the ChatGPT, the bot that I'm going to build myself, but you won't be able to build your own. So the first task is that you need to have the 4 version, and that will give you the option to build your own chatbots. Second thing is you need to have an idea. You need to find something, and a good starting point is to automate something that is eating up your free time. If you can find how to automate a task that is causing problems for you, if you can find a solution for your problem, it's very likely that other people have the same problem and they're going to use your bot, or they're going to build a similar bot to yours. But if yours is better, they're clearly going to use yours. There's still many people who don't know how to build ChatGPT bots. So we're going to learn that today. And the third is that you need to deploy it, and then you need to make a decision. Do you deploy it and make it publicly available for everybody else, or do you make it private? Do you want your bot to be only accessible to you, that you're going to automate your own tasks, or do you want to help the entire world and possibly look for commercial value? Those are the three key steps. First, get your GPT-4. Second step, get your idea. Third step, decide on do you want to deploy globally or keep it locally on your account. Let's start with building our bot now. I spent a little bit of time just to test this process before and see how it works, and I have created one bot, but I'm going to delete this bot and we're going to start from scratch. But I have tested it beforehand, so hopefully the second process is going to be faster, and hopefully I have eliminated some of the problems that we had. Just going to show you how to delete. When you create a ChatGPT personal chatbot like this one, which now is fully personalized for rewriting the CV, modifying the research statement, adapting the cover letter, tailoring. But I'm going to delete it because I want to show you how you can build your own. You would go to edit over here, and I went there just by clicking on the job applicant, and I went there by clicking the little pen. So I'm gonna edit, and instead of editing, I'm gonna click on this arrow here, and I'm gonna delete it. And I've got there by clicking the three little dots. So I'm deleting this ChatGPT, and this one should be gone. Now it's gone. It doesn't exist anymore. If I refresh this web page, that should disappear. There we are. This is inaccessible. And we're going to start from scratch, and we're going to rebuild the same ChatGPT, and we're going to test it in the next few minutes. The very first thing that you need to do is obviously you need to find a job that you want to apply for. And for this specific, just for training this, I have found a very interesting position in the University of Edinburgh. Actually, I'm going to send them the application for Director of Generative AI and see what they're going to say. But to build the chatbot, that's going to be the application that we're going to test it on. First, you need to, it's easier to write these things on Word or any kind of Word file, any kind of file, because you're going to have to change a lot of things. I changed this text at least like 5 times since uploading the first version, and then I had to do loads of editing. Because what it did, instead of giving me the rewritten CV, it was giving me advice of how to rewrite my CV, and that's not the purpose of this. So you have to be very clear with the instructions, and that's one advice, like saying this ChatGPT is going to do X, Y, Z. And in the description, in the text here, we're saying that you are my employment advisor and writing assistant, and you will help me rewrite my old job for a new job. I'm going to scroll to this one quickly so you can look at what kind of text did I create. Since I'm applying for a British university, I need him to write in British English, and it didn't really do that. It wrote in American English. It really doesn't like writing in British English. So I'm going to have to say this multiple times to make sure that he gets it. If it doesn't, you can just at the very end of the prompt, you can still tell him to rewrite it in British English, but I'm going to say this a few times for every section, and hopefully it will pick up. Otherwise, you're applying to a British university and using American English, and I'm not an American speaker or a native British speaker, so they would know that you use the ChatGPT. And that's the whole reason why I want to make him write in British English, not really because I'm obsessed with the British English. So, no, I don't want to leave that here. Those, that kind of things, they don't make sense to ChatGPT. This line is just for me, because what I have done, I told him, you will first rewrite those few documents. You will rewrite those few documents: the CV, the cover letter, research statement, teaching statement, and I want the ChatGPT to the new bot that we're building, I wanted to know if I send the cover letter, I wanted to know, oh, okay, this is the cover letter. I'm going to rewrite the cover letter. If I send the teaching statement, I want the chat to know that is the teaching statement. So I have specified those are the 5 types of documents that I'm going to share. If you're doing this for a different purpose, you wouldn't really include those. Actually, for the job that I have specified here, they're only asking for CV and cover letter, which means that the other documents are not necessary. And here, let's see how to apply. And at some point here, it would say apply with, yes, somewhere over there, yes, CV and supporting statement. That's all that they want, which means that the other instructions that I'm giving to the ChatGPT are surplus, but I'm going to keep them. And once you have written your instructions in this format, I will just copy and keep them in my clipboard. Then you would go to the GPT, and here you need to have the GPT-4, which we said you have to have GPT-4 to create your own bots. It's not going to work with GPT-3. And you would just go to Explore GPT, and then Create. And here we need to name the GPT. We need to include the description and instructions. I'm going to paste the instructions here. And from those instructions, I'm going to use something for the description. This ChatGPT, that is going to go to description. And I need to find a name how to call this GPT. I'm gonna call it Academic Job Applications Writer. And now before we click create, before we click save, I'm also going to use DALL-E. And this is going to give me a few minutes to talk about what's happening in the process. DALL-E is going to choose the image now. I don't have to, you don't have to go to Google and look for an image and then save it and upload it and then be accused for copyright things. It will create its own logo for the bot, and then that logo will appear over here, and that's going to be the official logo of the bot that you're creating. If you have to configure it later, you will just click configure, because now we're in the create. That's why that's grayed out. Once we get the image here, we're just going to click save. And what happens usually is that I have provided here a very lengthy text in the instructions. So in the instructions, that's a very detailed process saying do this, do that, understand the 5 sentences. The GPT will think, okay, I'm smarter than this. I don't need all that text, and I'm going to shrink that into 2 paragraphs. And that's what it's going to do on the first iteration, because it thinks this is unnecessary, too many descriptive explanations. And once it does that shrinking, it's not going to work as well. It's not going to do a very good job. So you have to come back and make sure that this instruction is here. So for that, you need to be in the configure tab. It will create conversation starters automatically, I believe. And in terms of knowledge, to include content, this can be your CV, for example. You can upload your CV there, and then it's going to use your CV as a knowledge for the GPT. You can upload the existing documents that you had, for example, here, the CV, the cover letter, and then you can test if it's going to perform the function just by adding the job description. And then you would say, write me the updated versions of the CV, of the cover letter, and yada, yada, yada. You could try that and I will definitely build more bots, but if I do that with one, it's going to take really long, and the video will become like 50 minutes and nobody is going to watch it. So that's why I'm going to try to keep it simple for the first one, and then we're going to expand. Now, since this is thinking way too long, it's going to just make the video very long. If I keep on talking, I'm gonna pause it, and I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna tell you how long it took for DALL-E to create the image. Usually it takes like 5 minutes for that maximum. It's quicker, and this time of the night it should have done it already, but for some reason it's very slow today. It has been a good 15 minutes since I posted, and it's still pending. So this is some issue with the ChatGPT today. What I'm gonna do, instead of waiting for that to create an image, because the image is not that important, we want it to do, I'm gonna save it, and I'm gonna go for save only. If you wanted to deploy it at this stage, you would just click everyone, or you would click anyone with a link, and then you would share it with specific people. I want to test it first. I don't want to deploy it before I see that it works. And then you can click here, view ChatGPT. That's one way. I'm gonna click that and I'm gonna open that in one tab, and you see how it looks. If you click going back, it's gonna lead you to the menu, and it's gonna be here on your menu. Now we're gonna test it to see if it's going to work, and we're gonna have this one open to edit in the same time, and we can actually click this and see if DALL-E is gonna fix it in the meantime. But as you can see, this time it kept the full instruction, and that means that it should really work this time, because it didn't hide the instruction. Like in the previous time when I tried, it shrinked that to 2, but it hasn't really completed the full section, because here there should be questions now, and those questions are not appearing, which means that it's still processing something. It hasn't really fully completed its task. So we're gonna let that run for a little bit and click save again. Then we'll refresh the web page. We'll click here, and that is it really. It's as good as it gets. We don't really need those. We need to test if it's going to work, and for that we need to copy and paste the job description. We can do that, and it can limit it has a limit on how much text it can process, but that limit, it's increased. It's not like in the past that is very small. So we're gonna copy that and we're gonna paste it here. Let's see if there's something that could confuse it. Permanent, those things are not necessary. It has a very strong power of identifying what's relevant and what's not. But I want to add more. That job description doesn't look like the full job description. So here, the role. I'm gonna click the role, and I'm gonna copy more of that text. I'm gonna copy it all the way up to here. Okay, and now I'm gonna paste that as well. Did it paste? Let me try. Yeah, it pasted the whole thing, and I'm gonna click send. Now it should extract all the essential and desirable criteria, and I'm doing this, as I said, first time with you. I deleted. Now it's saying please provide the text from your previous job application. Okay, so it's smart. It's getting it. I'm gonna provide first my CV. So that's my entire CV going straight there. And let's see if it's going to suggest some changes. It's rewriting the CV, and you see emphasizing with Z. So it's using the American English again. It's always doing that. Is there any differences here? So world renowned. I'm just comparing the text between that and my profile. So it has changed from I'm yada 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 to I'm world renewed. I assume that's what they want to see in the job description. So instead of being specific about what I'm doing, I'm gonna include that. I'm gonna paste it there, match the formatting, and keep it like that. I'm going through the other suggestions that he's made, and there's not many suggestions here. Actually, even that, it doesn't really look sufficient. So I'm gonna add that, and maybe this way it's gonna look better. Basically, from this whole exercise, I've only taken one paragraph from that. It just added a suggestion that you need to add a few things over there. But I believe that my older CV is far better than what he's suggesting here, and I'm gonna have to make more improvements on that. But for now on, let's try to see what is going to give us if we feed the cover letter, because this is what really changes. The CV doesn't change very much because you are who you are. You can't say I'm Brad Pitt. So from here now it's going to give us a different document, and I'm hoping that I can just copy this, paste it in the old cover letter, and if it's good enough, I just need to submit the CV and the cover letter, and that is it, done. Submit the job application. The whole process should take less than 10 minutes, but I can see that it's putting everything into numerical points, and that's not how cover letter is written. And you can see here that it would benefit from adding some more specific examples. And for example, you could add knowledge, and as a knowledge in a future session, I don't want this session to come up into 3-hour session. Actually, I spent the whole day playing with it, so I'm trying to make it shorter. But here in the knowledge section, I would upload some examples of cover letters from some really good cover letters, and I'm gonna ask him in the future to use that for writing the cover letter. But for now, I want to see if what we did is sufficient. And the way to compare that, I'm gonna do it by seeing it in Word. I want to see it in Word if it's going to look as a cover letter. I want to do minimum corrections. I don't want to spend hours fixing it. And let's see if it did the job that it's supposed to do. So it has changed from the old position into the new position. That's good. This is Grammarly doing now. It's clearly aligning the cover letter, the support statement, according to the requirements of the position, because I guess that's one of the essential requirements. That's some of the desirable requirements, and obviously you need to check if it's using good examples, because maybe you would think I have a better example for that. But so far this looks okay. Maybe for a position on this level of seniority, they would expect those sections to be longer. But this is already 2 pages. And the supporting statement should not be more than 2 pages. Maybe there's a room for a little bit of improvement, and how that improvement can be done, and I'm going to try to do it in a different video. I would be adding more examples and instructions, and I'm going to keep building upon this. Until then, I won't deploy it out in the public because it's just not good enough, not because I care. But in the next few days, I'm gonna make an improvement, and building upon that improvement, if it's doing a really good job, we can deploy it. And the deployment just means saving it here and making it available, publishing it for everyone. But for now, I'm gonna hold off from that. I'm quite happy with what it gave me. It has addressed the essential criteria. Maybe it's not the best, but for me this is good enough. So I'm gonna submit this application, and I'm gonna call it a day. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, there's always gonna be another position. But You see, this didn't take more than 10 minutes. Actually, the copying and pasting is seconds. Then it depends how long it's going to take you to go to this portal, and sometimes they ask you to register. I think with this one, they just want me to send the CV and cover letter as an email. So this position, it's the application, the entire application process is going to take less than 10 minutes. And with that, we have completed another video tutorial on AI systems. Hopefully now you feel even more confident to use different AI tools that are available on the market. If you're interested in this kind of content, please subscribe and you're going to be getting notifications when I upload a new video. The types of videos that I'm going to be uploading, you can check my channel and see some examples, but it's going to be roughly two different types of videos. One, if AI subject is extremely complicated, I would create 5 to 10 minutes lecture note with a graph diagram, and I'm going to use a whiteboard with drawing to explain that topic. This could include topics like secure multi-party computation, differential privacy, cryptography, encryption. The other type of videos that I'm going to be uploading are going to be practical demonstrations of how you can use artificial intelligence with the more advanced tools that are becoming available now. So if you're interested in this kind of content, please subscribe, and you're going to be getting two types of video contents. One, lecture notes on very complicated AI subjects, or short demos. My name is PETAR. I'm a postdoctoral researcher in the Department of Computer Science in the University of Oxford. This is not a funded video. It's purely for educational purposes. Nobody's funding me to do this kind of videos. On that note, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.